Okay, I am recording this session and I am very excited to present in this format. This is the very first time I am presenting in this format, so hopefully things go well. But anyway, I'm Jim Ferguson and I'm your host here on Chimney Inspection Report Writing Simplified with chimspect. This course does offer CEUs for CSIA, NFI, and I believe fire that will also apply to fire. If you need that certification, uh, please email me your information at jim@chimspect.com. Give me your name, your company name, the certification credential, and your phone number in case I have any additional questions for you. I'm going to leave my phone number and contact information. Probably it will show up on a couple more slides, and at the slide at the very end we'll also have that information. Okay. Um, okay. Well, chimspect is an app, and also there's also a control panel that you use on your computer, and we're going to talk about both of those. It's an app that is available both on the for the Apple device or the Android device, and some of the Chromebooks can actually run apps from the Google Play Store, and our chimspect will work on that. It's a little awkward though because they only have the forward-facing camera that you would use for like FaceTiming. In this training, we're going to cover what is chimspect, where chimspect came from, why do you need chimspect. We're going to go through a lot of detailed instructions on how to use chimspect. We're going to specifically talk about some tips when you are dealing with insurance companies using chimspect. We're going to talk about how chimspect, just actually doing very thorough inspection reports, will help you to increase your profits, and we feel that chimspect does a very good job of presenting the information to your client, as well as just putting everything in an organized report. And that organized report is going to help you reduce your liability risks when you're gathering very good information. Again, here's my contact information at the bottom of the screen if you want to write that down. What is chimspect? Chimspect greatly automates inspection reports. It's a systematic approach to your chimney inspections, so it's going to standardize the way that your techs will inspect chimneys. It's very easy to use. It's very powerful. It creates very professional looking reports that can be either PDF reports or there's also an on-screen presentation that you can use. Chimspect reduces mistakes and increases accuracy, and we're going to show how that chimspect can be used to do that. Chimspect is also very versatile. You can use chimspect to inspect any number of masonry chimneys or prefab chimneys or any combination of the above. We also have a classification for chases if your prefab is inside of a chase. Okay, we got a latecomer here. Robert, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Right now we're going over some of the basics behind chimspecs. We're not quite into the training, so you haven't missed anything important. We're just doing an overview right now. So at chimspec, you can have any number of flues, any number of fireplaces, any number of appliances all in one inspection report. And actually, when chimspect is gathering the information, it's actually creating 3 different reports simultaneously, and we will discuss that a little bit greater detail in just a little bit. Where did chimspect come from? Well, the 2000 edition of NFPA 211 made the levels of inspection an industry standard, and we need to prove that we are meeting that standard. And I have searched all the systems that I could find out there to find a reliable system that I was comfortable with to prove that I was meeting that standard, and I really didn't find anything that I was happy with. So I developed my own system using Excel spreadsheets, and really it was a very good system. And but soon people were discovering how powerful my spreadsheets were. They were really impressed, and they wanted me to sell them my spreadsheets. But I didn't want to become customer support for Microsoft Excel. So I contacted my brother, and he has over 40 years experience in the software industry, and we decided to create chimspect so that we could actually improve over my spreadsheets, as well as be able to share our amazing product with others. chimspect has been several years in research and development. My brother and another programmer worked on this system, just the programming of it, for over 12 months, 4 times. So that just the software team has over 4,000 hours programming. So if you multiply that times the what my brother's company charges per hour, programmers, he charges $125 an hour for programmers. So that is over $500,000 in value invested just in the programming of this software, not including the other research and development. And now we're very pleased that we can introduce and offer this product to you. So a little bit about me. First of all, this is my lovely wife Becky, and her and I have been started Ferguson's Chimney almost 37 years ago, and I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong slide. Um, Bear with me a second while I get my bearings again. So why do you need chimspect? Well, chimspect will help you make more money. It also will help you reduce your liability. Using chimspect is a very good way to increase your credibility. And really, this is a product that you need to get before your competition gets it. Matter of fact, one of the calls that I got just the other day was I was at a customer's house, and he had already had a competitive bid there, and the customer showed me one of the inspection reports created by chimspect, and he said, I have to get this. So you want to get this before your competition does. Okay, this is where I thought I was. I thought I was talking about us. This is my lovely wife, Becky. And she and I started Ferguson's Chimney about 37 years ago. Then it was her answering the phone and me out doing the work. Since then, the Lord has really blessed our company. Uh, these are my guys. We have right now, we are, like I said, we're in our 37th year of business. We have one full-time sweep crew, 2 full-time repair crews, 1 part-time repair crew, 1 part-time sweep crew, 1 full-time and 1 part-time office worker, 1 estimating crew. Hey, that's me. And we are the largest, most successful chimney company, at least within an hour of my area. We are at least double the price of our local competition. We forward schedule most of our regular customers into spring. By September or mid-September, we're usually booked out for nearly 3 months on our sweeps. Here, I'm going to mute somebody else's microphone here. There we go. By September, we're normally booked out for 3 months on our sweeps. By late fall, I was already telling people who wanted their estimates for repair, if they wanted to get us to do their work before the winter of 2019, they needed to get a deposit in now. chimspect has really improved our credibility. We take 30% deposits on our estimates to schedule, and we rarely have less than $30,000 in deposits on work to be done. Now, we live in an area that the average combined household income is less than $60,000, so we're not in an extremely affluent area. Even with that in mind, it's very commonplace for us to do jobs in the $15,000 to $25,000 range, and occasionally do jobs even higher than that. Um, in less than 1 year's time this year, we purchased within the last 12 months, we've purchased three very nice but used trucks. We paid cash for all of them. Their price ranges were from about $18,000 to $30,000, and we don't have cash flow problems. We've increased our prices to help control our backlog of work. With the increase in prices, we're now able to provide health care for our employees. We offer paid vacations. We offer performance and efficiencies bonus program. We also let's see, paid vacation. We also have retirement programs for our employees. So that sounds like I run a pretty successful company. Now, do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to lie to you? The truth is, here's a shocker: I haven't always operated a highly successful business. Gasp. um, and I'll tell you what I did. I spent too many decades in business, running my business like it was a job. My job was looking for the next job, just to squeak through the slow season in hopes of a great busy season, just to do it all over again. I approached my customers in the wrong way. I treated my business like it was a job, and I spent every day looking for my next job. I spent too much time going for the low-hanging fruit. Go out to a job, do a sweep, a cap, seal the crown, seal the flashing, and go away with maybe $500 to $1,000 an appointment, and that was a good thing. I mean, I liked it. I thought I was doing the right thing. Nothing wrong with that if that's all the customer needs. But if you're hurrying through your appointments with the low-hanging fruit mentality, you're putting your customers at risk, and you are putting yourself at risk. And now for years we had it droned into us: repeat business, forward schedule. Hey, don't get me wrong, we do forward schedule, but you want to know what? My repeat customers, well, they're a pain. Repeat customers are annoyances. I hope I don't have any repeat customers listening in. But we're busy without them, and they take a time slot where a new customer would go. And new customers have problems. Repeat customers have already had their problems fixed, or they don't care, or they can't afford to have them fixed. So we really like going for the new customers. We do try to forward schedule our existing customers into the early spring and midsummer. But I want to tell you now how to go for the gold. Going for the gold means better inspection reports. Better inspection reports are going to help you manage your risk. Well-documented reports reduce your liability. Now you've got to go for the gold. Going for the gold is not just about the money. Now don't get me wrong, it is about the money, but it's also about keeping the money. In 37 years, I've been involved in 2 litigations because my employees missed things, or if they saw them, they didn't report them. And I want to tell you, if it's not documented in writing, if it's not documented with pictures, it didn't happen. You need to have well-documented reports. And well-documented reports are going to give you more work, and they're going to give you more money, and they're going to help you reduce your liability. Okay, I covered those points. Chimspect makes it hard to miss things, but you still need the education to know what you're looking at. Education is the key to more money and reducing your liabilities. So chimspect alone is not enough. Chimspect plus education equals a huge increase in your income. Now, I want to give you to the keys. We talked about we're going to show how to use chimspect for insurance report. And I want to give you the keys to the insurance company's Fort Knox. Now, we used to feel like we had to beg and negotiate with insurance companies to get $4,000 to $8,000 on a chimney fire repair. Now we are regularly getting $14,000 to $24,000 on insurance relines. Here's a very important code. Write this one down, the IRC's code for unsafe chimneys. I have used this with many insurance companies, and they have been much more amiable to paying for things that I was not able to get them to pay for in the past. Where the inspection reveals that an existing chimney is not safe for the intended application, it shall be repaired, rebuilt, lined, relined, or replaced with a vent or a chimney. And here's a key: to conform to NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for the appliances to be vented. The other key is the manufacturer's instructions. This is Olympia's instructions on their liner, but they're all going to say something very similar to this. Chimney inspection and cleaning prior to installation of the lining system. Thoroughly inspect and clean the chimney. All creosote, including tar, glaze, creosote, soot, dirt, and debris, must be removed from the installation before the installation of the liner. Thorough cleaning of the chimney is a warranty prerequisite. The chimney must be inspected for cracked, loose, or missing stones, brick, or mortar joints. A chimney that's not structurally sound should not be relined. Make any repairs necessary before proceeding with the installation of the liner. As a precaution, it is recommended that a short piece of lining material of the diameter to be installed is connected to a pulling cone and is drawn through the masonry chimney. This will ensure that no obstructions exist that should be removed, and this will result in a smoother installation. The chimney inspection and cleaning prior to the installation of the lining system. Thoroughly inspect the chimney. I am getting the insurance companies to pay for the sweeping and the level 2 inspection, where previously they just say, hey, that's maintenance, we don't pay for maintenance. Well, hey, it's in the manufacturer's instructions that this has to be done, and we have to do the level 2 inspection. So I am getting the insurance companies to pay for that most of the time. Also, it says all creosote, including glazed creosote, soot, and dirt and debris must be removed before the installation of the liner. Sorry about that. What I was going to say with that liner is sometimes when you take the tiles out of the chimney, the area surrounding the chimney is soaked with glazed creosote, and we are insisting that the PCR be done to remove that creosote per the manufacturer's instructions. Also, Olympia's instructions say that the chimney has to be inspected. This is the interior or the exterior of the chimney to make sure that it's in good shape. Making any necessary repairs before proceeding with the installation of the liner is required in the manufacturer's instructions. So quite often, not every time, but most of the time, I'm getting the insurance companies to pay for the exterior repairs because it's in the manufacturer's instruction manual. I also am starting to include in my estimate the pre-test fit, and getting the insurance company to pay for the pre-test fit. Back to unsafe chimneys, where the inspection reveals that an existing chimney is not safe for the intended application, it shall be repaired, rebuilt, lined, relined, or replaced with a vent or chimney to conform to NFPA 211, and it shall be suitable for the appliances, plural, to be vented. I have even been successful with insurance companies, even if the customer doesn't have code upgrade in their policy. It does make it go smoother if they do, but I pointed out to the insurance company that the chimney never conformed to NFPA 211. So it is not a code upgrade, it is simply making the chimney suitable for use. And we have been very successful in getting them to be amiable to that. I have even had one where the homeowner's insurance already said they were going to pay for the reline. We turned in our reline estimate. It was about $14,000. The insurance company was expecting something around 7 to 8. They sent an engineer out to examine the chimney along with the report that we gave them. And the insurance company said, or the engineer went back to the insurance company and they said, everything in this report is exactly accurate. And the insurance company came back and paid everything that was in the estimate, including the lining of the flue for the gas appliances, the furnace and water heater, as well as some minor exterior repairs to the chimney. Education is the key. One, you need to educate the homeowner. You also may need to educate the insurance adjuster. With the homeowner, you really need to get them to understand that the chimney needs to be brought up to code. It is not going to be suitable for somebody to just come and stab a piece of liner down the chimney. And the insurance company may require them to get 2 or 3 other bids, and those other bids may be just for literally just stabbing a piece of liner down the chimney for $4,000 to $6,000, or maybe even less. If you don't educate the homeowner, he may feel like he is forced to go with the lower bid. Now, every chimney should get this same level of care, not just the insurance companies. You should approach every chimney letting the customer know what is deficient in their system, and that if they want to use this chimney for its intended if they want it to be used for its intended use, that they need to be aware of every deficiency in the chimney. So we don't just treat the insurance companies that way. This is the way every chimney should be treated, because every deficiency should be pointed out if it's not up to the current safety standard. Again, we need to try to get away from quoting codes, but saying it doesn't meet the current level of safety standards, doesn't meet the minimum standard. So not just the insurance companies, but every home that you go to should get the same level of care. Okay, now we're going to get into some detailed instructions on how to use chimspect. I'm going to do this through some short videos, and at the end is when we're going to open it up for questions. Okay, this first video is going to be on the sign-up process.
This is Jim Ferguson with chimspect, Chimney Software Inspection Systems. I'm going to walk you through the sign-up process. From your PC, go to dashboard.chimspect.com. In the upper right-hand corner, click on Sign Up. You'll need to provide your email, your name, company name, a password that's at least 8 digits and contains...
You are getting the video or the audio from this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Numbers and uppercase letters. Click on Sign Up. This is where you're going to need a verification code. This is going to be sent to your email. You'll come back to this site and provide your verification code. This is not the code that you need to activate a device. So if you've gone to the website and downloaded our app, it might be a good idea to go ahead and delete that app at this point and re-download it, but this is not the verification code that you need to activate that device. Go to our email, click on verification code. This verification code is only good for about 15 minutes. Press verify account. You've successfully confirmed your account. Now you can go ahead and sign into chimspect with your email and password. The first place you're going to need to go is payments. You'll go into payments and you'll activate the number of devices that you want to have access to. The web administrator is your admin portal that you will normally access from a PC, but you can also access that from a browser on your mobile device. And then you're going to select how many devices that you want to add. I would suggest that you add as many devices that you are planning to activate with your crews at this time. Each device is an additional $30. Now, the subscription is a risk-free subscription offer. You'll have 30 days to cancel. So I recommend that you put it in the hands of as many of your employees as possible so that you can determine the best way to use this. You'll be able to add and delete devices later. For now, just press on how many devices that you want to activate. Click on subscribe now. And this is where you'll input your payment information. This is all very self-explanatory, and I am not going to give you my credit card number at this time. When we come back with our next video, we will talk about setting up your dashboard and activating devices.
We are going to take a look at your dashboard and how to set up your devices. Go to chimspect.com, click sign in, put your email and password that you signed up with, click sign in, and this will take you to your dashboard. First we want you to go to profile. In profile is where you're going to put in your company name, your company address, your company email, phone number. You're going to want to find your logo, choose that file, and our software will automatically size your logo appropriately for your cover page. Another part of what is being built in your profile is your disclaimer. If you see this text in this box for the disclaimer, you're going to receive the disclaimer that we have written for the system. It's pretty good. You should take a look at it. You may want to edit it and have it be more custom for your situation. If you are going to build your own disclaimer, these items are called placeholders. So any place in your disclaimer that you would want the customer name, his address, the information, your company name, address information, inspector's information, you would simply click on any one of these placeholders, and that's going to automatically insert it in your document where you want it. If you decide you want to go back to our own disclaimer, simply delete everything that's in this box. You'll get the grayed out text again, and then you can use our disclaimer that's built into the system. Also, just note that from the profile you can click on change your password or change your subscription if you want to add more devices than you already have signed up for, or if you want to reduce the number of devices that you've got. We'll cover that here in a little bit. This little box down here, again, this allows us to collect any information that you put in your comment assist, and it might help us into building a comment assist library for others. Click save, and then we're going to want you to go to the devices tab. On devices, this is going to say no devices added, but obviously I've been using my account for a while, so we're going to have devices here. What you would do, this tab is going to be very close to the top. You would click add a device. Here's where you'd put in the inspector's name. After the inspector's name, I recommend you put any certifications that he has and the certification number. I would say, I wouldn't just say CSIA certified and the number. I would say certified chimney sweep, CSIA, and then the number. The same thing with if you're NFI or fire. I would spell out what those certifications mean. I am a fire certified chimney inspector, and then your inspector's badge number. Also, you could put your email here, and then put waiting for activation. This is the activation code that you're going to put in your device. So if you've opened up your app and it says waiting for activation, this is the activation that you put code that you put in, and you don't need to worry about case sensitive because it's automatically going to go in as capital letters. Now your device is activated. From here, we're going to take a look at the Comment Assist library, and we'll be back with that section shortly. We are going to take a look at your dashboard and how to set up your devices. Go to chimspect.com, click sign in, put your email and password that you signed up with, click sign in, and this will take you to your dashboard. First, we want you to go to profile.
Whoops, we already did this one. Hold on.
In this session, we're going to take a look at adding comments to your Comment Assist library, your way of customizing your system to your needs. Go to chimspect and sign in. You'll want to go to your Comment Assist library. You'll click on that tab. This section right here is all the parent categories that we look at: the masonry chimney, the flue, the masonry fireplace, prefab chimney, freestandings, vent, or actually vents and connectors. For now, we're going to click on flue, and now this is going to bring up every area that we look at when we are looking at the flue. For now, we're going to look at level of cleanliness of the venting system. You'll notice that I have a couple of comments in here. These are simply demonstration comments that I had added to our system previously. We're going to go ahead and add a new comment. What you'll first want to do is add an excerpt, which is just going to be a couple of brief words so that you can find what you put in the system easily, so that you can use it anytime that you need it. So let's just put demo, and then we can put anything that we want to put in here. Very dirty, glazed, unsafe, whatever we want to add. Okay, so we're going to save that comment. Now we're going to take a look at on our device. If you open up your app and you went to masonry chimney, and then you went to flue, then you'll notice that we can scroll down until we find the level of cleanliness of the venting system, and I am going to tap on this clipboard right here, and you're not going to see the comment that we just added. Matter of fact, you see a couple of other comments there. How you get the comments to show up in your library is these three little lines up here at the top. You'll click on that. It opens up a new menu. This little arrow with the smiley face under it, we're going to click on that, and it says that we can upload or download our disclaimer, and this also downloads our Comment Assist library. So now we're going to open up. It says profile updated successfully. Tap on this little clipboard so that we can see what we have in our library, and you'll see that demo is there. Demo, very dirty, glazed, unsafe. That's all it takes to update your Comment Assist library so that you can build your library to suit your needs. And again, you can do that with any element any parent element, any of the items that we fill in, so that you can put any comments in that you use regularly. Now, there are lots of comments that are already built into the system. Currently, we do not have them showing up when you click on one of them. Our comments are not available to edit, but rest assured we do have lots of comments in our library. We have well over 200 comments in our library, and we continue, and we'll probably be growing those sample comments. Those sample comments, you can edit them on your device, cut and paste them, copy them, use them any way that you want. That's it for the Comment Assist library. Barb wanted me to point out that that I forgot to mention that CCP is one of the certifications up there. So you want to say Certified Chimney Professional. Sorry that I missed that. I have a question up here from Barb. Are you on the desktop view? I'm going to unmute you, Barb, and because I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Just that you were on the other. Never mind.
Okay, you figured it out? All right.
Yep.
Okay, I'll put you back on mute. This session, we're going to take a look at adding comments to your. Now we're going to start learning about the actual app. This is the part you've anxiously been waiting for. First thing that we're going to do is icon identification. This house is where you would enter in your customer information and even take a picture from either your camera roll or from you with your camera. We also have other icons. First of all, if you put your finger and swipe to the right, you'll see that this brings up private notes. That's how to get into your private notes. This is where you would type something in that maybe you didn't want your client to see in a report, like you showed up at 10 o'clock in the morning and they were already drunk. If you tap private notes again, that'll save whatever comments that you put in there, and that will be available for you on your dashboard. If you ever need to call customer support and they want to know what version of the software that you're running, they'll want you to click right on this icon, and these numbers right here, we'll just want you to read those to us, and it will help us to find out what version of the software that you are using. These three little lines here open up a new menu. This is what we call the download icon. It just looks like a little arrow down with a happy face under it. If you've worked on an inspection and you want to delete it from your device, you click the trash can. This cloud with an arrow up uploads your inspection to your dashboard or to the cloud. This little check mark right here marks your inspection as done. If you mark it as done, you will not be able to edit it on your device anymore, but you will be able to edit it from your dashboard, and we'll go over that in a little while. This icon right here is the folder icon. This is your stored inspections, and it's also where you would click to add a new inspection. This icon right here I call the home icon. If you tap this is if you're building a system, like say where you added a masonry chimney and you wanted to add a second masonry chimney, you would tap that icon and it would bring up this menu again so that you could add a second menu or a second masonry chimney. If you wanted to go back to that first masonry chimney and do some work on it, tap on masonry chimney number 1, and then you're going to be able to add a flue, and from there you can choose whether you want to add a fireplace or a freestanding. But let's say you wanted to add multiple flues to this chimney. You would just tap on masonry chimney and hit plus flue. Now we have multiple flues. We can rename any of these elements that are up in this top bar by simply doing what we call a long press, and then you can rename that if you choose to do that. So you might want to say that flue number 2 is the furnace flue. So you can cancel, you can change the name. Going further down, this little box right here that looks like a clipboard, if there is a check mark in that box, it means it's going to show up in the customer's report. If there's no check mark in that box, it will only be any information that you would enter in here is only going to show up in your own report. This icon is how you would get pictures from your library or from your camera. This icon opens and closes the little dialog box, and the furthest over icon is anything from your comment assist library. If it's grayed out, there usually are not comments already in that. We'll come down to this one. You see that it's not grayed out. I'll tap on it and you'll see that we have several options that we can use from our comment assist library. This icon here is the printer icon. When you tap on the printer, it brings up this menu on you, and what this says is the fallback report generation. Your report does not have its headers and footers entered until you would save it to the cloud. So if you try to print with this using this icon at the moment, your report's not going to have nice neat divisions on it. We'll go over printing and emailing a little bit later. The last icon here is your on-device presentation, and that is a very powerful tool that lets us show the customer everything that we have added into our report. Again, we're going to go over that shortly. For now, we're just learning the different icons. Now we're going to start learning about the
Let's get started with our mock inspection for the chimspect app. Tap on the icon for our app, and this is the opening page. To start your inspection, up in the upper right hand corner next to the chimspect software logo is 3 little lines. Tap on the 3 little lines. It opens up a new menu, and you'll notice the folder icon all the way to the left with the plus sign on it. Tap that and tap add new inspection. All the way over to the left hand side in the upper corner is a house icon. Tap on it, and that's going to be where you can put all the customer information in. This is also where you would choose your reason for inspection. Many of these items are what would trigger a level 2 inspection. Let's say we're doing a sweeping with an inspection, and we're going to say that we're going to do a level 2 inspection on that, but we can do level 1 parts of a level 2, level 2 parts of 3, or possibly just as needed for an estimate if you are just doing an estimate for a minor repair on the outside of the chimney. This is also the information that's going to go on the cover page of your report. So you're going to want to add a picture of the house from the curb. You can either do that from your camera roll, or you can take a picture. Now we're just doing a picture of a picture on another iPad so that I can quickly do an inspection report. We'll use that photo. Now we've given us all the information that we need to build our cover page. You'll notice the icon that has the plus masonry chimney. We're doing a masonry chimney here. We will touch a long tap and we will rename it. Let's just call this fireplace chimney. Fireplace chimney. Fireplace chimney. Change name. Let's say we have more than one chimney on this home. Let's tap the little icon right next to fireplace chimney that looks like a chimney. And you'll notice that we could add another masonry chimney. We could add a factory built chimney, or we could add a chase. And if we added a chase, then we would have the opportunity to put a factory built chimney inside of that. Let's say that I added these by accident and they need to go away. Let's do a long tap on chase number 1 and we can delete it. Okay, let's go through the inspection of the fireplace chimney. Let's say we wanted to take a picture of the chimney from the outside. We'll use our camera roll, or we'll use our camera again. Again, we could have used the camera roll. These next few fields are optional, whether you want to add those or not. They are good to have for your own records. They won't show up in the customer's report unless you tap the little clipboard here, which puts a check mark in it. Now that would show up in the customer's written report as well as the on-device presentation. The customer knows their chimney's brick, so I don't want it to show up in their report. But for our information, we want to know that that's an exterior chimney. It has an asphalt roof. It's approximately a 412 pitch. The length of the crown, let's say it's 62 inches. The width of the crown, let's say it's 24. Now, right now we're not inspecting the crown, we're just putting some dimensions in. Approximate height above the ground, let's say 25 feet. Approximate height above the roof, 4 feet. Now, does the chimney height meet the 3-2-10 rule? Well, let's say no, it doesn't. Let's put a comment in from our comment assist library. And let's take a picture. As a matter of fact, let's use that same picture. Yes, that chimney does meet the 3-2-10 rule, but I took that from kind of an angle that makes it look like it really doesn't. Okay, let's go on down with our inspection report. The mortar condition on this chimney was pretty gruesome. We use that photo. Again, we can use multiple photos in any one of these fields. There's no limit to how many photos that you put in there. Again, we're going to go to our comment assist library, and we're going to say that that mortar has significant cracks. Our little short dialogue helps us know what our longer information is going to be. And notice that we can have multiple comments, and we can append, replace, or just cancel the whole thing. But let's append this and notice that we have quite a bit of dialogue in here. Again, we can edit this any way that we want, or you can use our comments as they are. Scroll on down. Let's look at the crown and wash cap of this chimney. Now again, obviously this isn't the same chimney, but this is just to help us see what the app will do. We'll use our comment assist library. Significant cracks. It's deteriorated. It's a mortar crown. Now this particular tab I just tapped on, you can choose to use it or choose not to use it. Again, any blanks that you leave in the report are not going to show up as an incomplete report. Let's look at the expansion joint on this chimney. Obviously no expansion joint there. And we do have some comment that we can add. And if you'll notice, the only comments that are available in each of these fields is the one that pertains to that particular field. So no searching through massive libraries. Okay, now I want to move on to the flue. So I press add a flue. And this flue will always be attached to this chimney. So if you were to add another chimney, you'll notice that the flue is not attached to that chimney. Now let's say I added this by mistake. We'll do a long press. We'll delete that. And we're just back to the chimney that we're working on. I want to show you some special fields. And we're going to move along quickly because, again, all of the icons work exactly the same for every item that you are going to inspect. Now I am going to go down to flue shape, and I want you to notice the elements right below flue shape. As I select rectangular, notice that they changed. Let's go with circular. They change. Oval, they change. Let's go back to rectangular. Internal flue opening length. We have a lot of 12 by 12 flues around here, but really the inside of those 12 by 12 flues around here is about 10.25 by 10.25. Again, every item that you would be looking at when you're looking at the flue, according to NFPA 211, is mentioned in these fields. Let's go ahead and add a fireplace to this. Again, I just want to show you some of the special functions. I'm not really trying to do a complete report here. Choose your fireplace type. We do have support for Rumford fireplaces, but let's select traditional masonry fireplace. The fireplace width, let's say that fireplace width is 36. And the fireplace height is, let's go with 36 on that too, because I want it to fail according to the flue size. Notice that little red exclamation points that showed up? It's letting you know that that flue is undersized by almost 19%. Now let's reduce this down to a 30-inch flue, and notice it's undersized by just a little under 3%. This app does a lot of the math for you. Let's say that the combustible trim sticks out more than 1.5 inches. That's the way NFPA 211 describes it. So let's look at our clearance to combustible trim, and let's put that at 8 inches. It fails. Let's go 12 inches. It passes. Hearth extension size, starting measuring at the face of the fireplace. Let's say it's 19. That's going to fail. 20, it's going to pass. That's because our fireplace opening is greater than 6 square feet. So let's put this down to a fireplace width of 28 and make this 26. And our hearth extension size, let's put that at 16. Now it's going to pass. And notice our exclamation points went away up there. Okay, let's change these back so that we have some failures here. Hearth extensions on the side of the fireplace. This is measuring from the side of the fireplace to the edge of the hearth. Let's go with 6. It's going to fail. Let's go with 8. It's going to fail. Let's go with 12. It passes. So let's make it 11 so that it fails. Again, we use our comment assist. fireplace depth, let's go with 19. It's going to fail. It needs to be 20. Throat size, 7. Going to fail. Let's go with 8. And again, all of the things that you would inspect on the fireplace are in this field. From this, we can also end our report and go ahead and generate a PDF of this report. As this saves, I'm going to end this session of the demonstration.
We're going to take a look at adding gas appliances. This can be a little bit tricky if you haven't been shown how to do it, because a lot of times when you have a gas appliance, you might have a furnace and a water heater, or sometimes two furnaces or two water heaters going into the same flue. So let's go ahead and add a masonry chimney. We need a flue, and we're also going to need a freestanding appliance. Let's go ahead and rename the appliance. Let's call this one the furnace. In order to connect the furnace and the flue together, we need a connector pipe. And you don't really need to rename the connector pipe unless you want to, because it's always going to be connected to the furnace. Let's go ahead and click on the furnace so that we can talk about the furnace. And right now we don't have a whole lot of options as far as choices that we can make to describe this appliance. But let's go ahead and click on the fuel. And now that it's gas, we have a few more options that apply to this appliance. I always recommend that you take a picture of the appliance, and possibly down here where we'll also say that this is a gas furnace, and you have the choice of category 1 or draft hood, because those are the only ones that are supposed to be going into a furnace. And our connector pipe, we can use single wall, B vent, or L vent. Let's just assume it's single wall pipe. And you might want to take a picture of any labels that are on the appliance, and you can take multiple pictures and put it in that field. And I recommend that you take a picture of the appliance up here in description and photos. Now let's go back to the flue, and let's add another freestanding. And let's rename this freestanding as the water heater. We'll change the name. Again, we need a connector pipe, and in your connector, everything that you would need to check on the connector pipe is in this menu. Again, go back to water heater. I always recommend that you take a picture of the water heater and especially the BTU input rating on it, because, well, let's say for example that you've come to a home, you've done an inspection, there's a properly sized steel liner in the flue for the water heater and furnace, and they're both connected into that. And it's, let's say, an 80,000 BTU furnace and a 30,000 BTU water heater, and it's properly sized. Well, let's say this is a family of 6 and they were always running out of hot water. So they decided to get maybe an 80,000 BTU water heater, and the plumber that hooked it up, or the homeowner that hooked it up, connects it into the same flue, and it's possible now that that flue is undersized for those appliances, and their carbon monoxide alarm is going off, and they're calling you because, hey, what's going on? You inspected my chimney, you said it was fine. You come out and you check your inspection report, and compare it to the appliances that are in the existing flue, and you discover that, hey, the water heater is a different size appliance, and they didn't call you to see if that was properly sized or to reinspect the flue like they should have done. And now they're getting a carbon monoxide. Well, you can plainly show them, hey, this isn't, an issue that I caused. It's because you changed out your water heater. Hey, we're going to have to go ahead and resize this flue for your water heater and furnace. And that's, once you've been shown how to add multiple gas appliances to one flue, it's not difficult at all. All right, thank you very much.
We are going to look at the on-device presentation of your inspection report. If you go to the chimspect logo in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the three lines, the printer icon, and a icon that looks like a computer monitor. Click on the computer monitor icon, and it begins their inspection report. Every field that you wanted the customer to see, where you put in a green check mark in the box, is going to show up with its own page on your PowerPoint style presentation. Any information that you typed in, like I typed in the bricks are no longer being held in place by the mortar. Also, each one of your pictures, you can open each one of the pictures, zoom in on it, point out further details to your customer, and move on to the next item in your inspection report. Once you have gone through the entire inspection report with the customer, I'm going to click to the end of the report. You'll have the ability to have put in your findings and conclusions, what you want your customer to remember from your inspection report. And they'll also have the ability to sign their inspection report right on your device. This one's already been signed. I'm going to go to one that hasn't been signed. You notice I've have something written in the signature acknowledgement area. You have to have something there for them to acknowledge in order for the green check mark to show up. Then when you go to your inspection report, there's the findings and conclusions. This will be the acknowledgement that they sign, and then you'll have the ability to sign right on the device. Once you've then saved that inspection report to the cloud by tapping on the cloud.
Once you've tapped on that and made it so that you can upload it to the cloud, that gets into the printing. So let's go ahead and move on to emailing and printing, and we're going to be doing that from an Apple device. I don't have it in here for the Android device. Android's a little bit more self-explanatory in how to email or print than the Apple device is. If anybody needs me to put together a video on how to do that from the Android, just let me know. I'll be happy to do that. Anyway, this is going to be emailing and printing from the Apple.
Welcome back for another training session of the chimspect app for detailed chimney inspections and report writing. Today our lesson is going to be on printing and emailing from the chimspect app on an Apple device. First, you want to save your document to the cloud. Then you want to generate your report for the printer. And please notice that one of the idiosyncrasies of the Apple device is it will always wait until it has a printer hooked up to it before it actually formats the print. It gets information from the printer to be able to format the document. Notice the headers and footers are just a little bit off. Then I select a printer. Now it's formatted the document for our printer. And now all the headers and footers have completely lined up the way that they're supposed to be. Now I could go ahead and print the document, or if I want to email it, I just zoom in or do a reverse pinch. Tap the icon in the upper right hand corner. Hit mail. And now I can email my PDF report to my client. It's as easy as that. Thanks. Join us again for another training session.
We're going to take a look at some of the challenges of using a smaller device, such as a cell phone. I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus, which still has a pretty good footprint, but if you'll notice that some of the icons overlap each other, and some of the icons, if you're not familiar with the app, you may not know what these icons mean. The easiest way to overcome some of these challenges is simply go from the portrait mode in your device to the landscape mode. Now your icons all show up and they are more easily accessed. But when we go up here and we click on our address, it may not be as easy to go ahead and type those elements in, so we go ahead and we turn back to the portrait mode. Now our keyboard's a lot easier to work with, and we don't have any of the issues that we had before. So simply going back and forth between the portrait mode and the landscape mode is how to overcome issues with a smaller device. We're going to look at a new feature to chimspect, and that is editing from the dashboard. Go to chimspect.com and sign in. Go to this tab that says inspections, and you will notice that we have 20 inspections in this list. Okay, we went back to the computer now. We're not on the device anymore. We're on the computer. You can actually go to the dashboard from a device if you have the email address and password, but right now we're on the desktop computer. We're going to look at a new feature to chimspect, and that is editing from the dashboard. Go to chimspect.com and sign in. Go to this tab that says inspections, and you will notice that we have 20 inspections in this list because we are sorting by recent. If you don't see what you're looking for, you can click load more results, which adds 20 more to your results, or you can search by their address, name, phone number, or email. Keep in mind that you have to enter those in exactly as they were entered into the inspection, or it's going to come up showing no results. My favorite way to search is by date range, because you can just choose a range and hit search. Then you can look for the inspection that you're looking for. Earlier in this video, we talked about viewing that when you're doing an inspection, it's creating 3 separate reports. The one report is the PDF report that the customer is going to get. The other is the PowerPoint style presentation that your device is building. And the third way is viewing the raw data. So all of your data is being brought into your inspection report, and every field that you put something in, whether you put a check mark or not, is going to show up in this report. If you want to edit anything in this report, you need to click on the dark print. Here you could enter comments, you could change the photo. If there was a mistake in the customer's name, again, you hit the name field, it opens up this gray box, and then you can edit anything that you need to. Any of your orange fields, you can tap on that and rename that as well. About every 20 seconds, your inspection report is saved, so your changes are automatically saved. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the report, you're going to notice that there is a box that says Archive Inspection. I'll explain what that is in a minute, but you can archive it or unarchive it. Also, if there were any private notes that you entered in during your inspection, you could edit them here. Or if your inspectors came back and had some information about this house that you decided you wanted to add to your file, you can add that to your file as well. This particular field right here is not edited here. That's the address at the top of the page. You would edit that here, and then it's going to, that will change when you change that. To get out of the editing mode of the inspection report, just click off to the side. Now, the importance of the archived inspections, many offices like to view every inspection report that comes through. When they view it, they've changed all their edits. They can add it to their archived inspection, and it won't show up in this list anymore. So a lot of companies like to keep this list very clean so they know what inspection reports they've looked at and have not looked at. Since we're on the dashboard, I'm going to show you a couple of other things that you can do from your dashboard. Click on the Profile tab. If you need to change your password, you can change your password. You would have to know your old password, put in your new password and confirm it, and then you can change your password. If you just forgot what your password is, you can go to the sign in page and click on I forgot my password, and it will take you through the steps that you need to be able to figure out what your password was. Also, from your Profile tab, you can change your subscription. Now, if you go to your Devices tab and you attempt,
Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened here. Give me just a second to get back to where we
going
were.
to look at a new feature to chimspect, and that is added one device, you're going to get a one-time charge of approximately $15, and then per month, and you'll get a notification tab.
All right,
you can
sorry
change
about
your
that.
subscription. Now, if you go to your Devices tab and you attempt to add another device, if it brings up the message, the error message that the maximum number of devices in your subscription have been used, you go to Profile, you click Change Your Subscription, and add, or you can actually remove devices, and modify your subscription. You'll get a notification of what your subscription cost is going to change to. You can click cancel or you can click OK. If you add additional devices, it's going to say that what the amount of your subscription is going to change per month, and any devices that you added in the middle of a billing period are going to show up as a partial charge. So if you came in around the middle of the month and added one device, you're going to get a one-time charge of approximately $15, and then the following months you will be charged the amount that it shows right here. If you have further questions, you can email me, Jim at chimspect.com, or you can call me at 330-268-9141, and I can answer your questions.
Okay, I'm going to put this up on here. I'm also going to unmute. Okay, Barb is asking. I'm gonna unmute everybody. Barb is asking if we want to email from the edited report. Okay, let me get out of this PowerPoint presentation and open up my dashboard.
That was excellent, Jim. You answered a lot of my questions right there as you did it. So,
oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to make all of these little videos available on the support page. I'm soon. My brother has to do that, and he's got a lot on his plate. But anyway, you asked how to email from the reports from the dashboard.
Yeah, the edited report that you did.
Okay, so after you have edited a report, it is going to generate PDF reports are not stored in our system, so you're not going to get an outdated PDF report if you do some editing. It's going to generate a brand new report every time you hit PDF report.
Okay.
So it is going to download this report, and it's going to generate the report, and depending on what your browser settings are, sometimes it will just, because I like it, I have set mine up to ask me where I want to store the report, or anything that I download. It brings up this menu so that it shows me where it's going to be stored at, and that gives me the opportunity then to rename it, and then I can save it if I want to make it real easy for me to find. I can save it to my desktop and just click save. That way I can find it.
Okay, and then you just email out the report.
Yeah, and then when you open up the report, yeah, you can add it. You can just drag it into your email, or you can open it up in Acrobat, and if you have a subscription to Acrobat, you can actually email from Acrobat as well.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. I know that's an awful lot of information.
Yep.
Went through it very quickly. Yes.
I got a question. On the conclusions at the end there, is that something that's generated from all the stuff you put in on the parts of the inspection?
No. That is something you would type in yourself. You might want to put in. And matter of fact, a lot of times I don't even use conclusions. A lot of times the only time I really use conclusions is if I'm dealing with an insurance company, because everything's in the report.
Right.
But I want an insurance company to really understand, what I feel that their obligations are to help the customer. So a lot of times I will use that when I'm dealing with an insurance company. Sometimes with a sale or something with a realtor, I will do those things. But for the most part, I don't actually use the findings and conclusions. So that part's going to be, it's not going to leave a blank box finding and conclusions on your report. It just won't show up that box on the report.
Okay. And then one other thing too, can you access the reports from the cloud if, say, you're not available on your device or a company device? If you're in somebody else's office, as an example, or if you're on your phone and you need to access the report, but you have your iPad on as your device for service.
Okay. If you have the email and password that you sign in with, you can go to your dashboard from any device and access reports.
Okay.
Now, one thing I don't think I made this clear, and that is only if you have 3 devices out in the field, the only reports that are going to be actually on that device are the inspections that you did from that device. You can't, like, say 2 people on one job working on the same report. You can't do something like that. So one person can't do the outside, the other person doing the inside.
Okay.
We don't have the ability to do that yet.
And then when you get the PDF on the report, can you just email it then back to the office for going into a customer file, QuickBooks or whatever?
Yeah, once if you've emailed it or saved it to your desktop, it's very easy to drag that into QuickBooks or whatever CRM or accounting or software for bookkeeping that you're using.
Right. Okay. Well, things sound good.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay. Let's see. I think. Can you load the client information onto the page? Or from a different device? Like, can I email it from my office desktop to the service tech's iPad so they know?
No, currently they're going to have to enter that information themselves. We are working on some of the features that I can't say how soon that they will come because the features that we're looking to add down the road are being able to import information from Google Calendar. So if you schedule with Google Calendar, that's one of the very common calendars and requests that people ask for. We're looking to be able to import that information from Google Calendar into the chimspect app. After that, we are also looking at being able to sync client information with QuickBooks too. And I haven't found out. I don't have a view of what that's going to look like yet. Whether you have to put the information into QuickBooks first, or whether QuickBooks will extract the information from chimspect, I don't know that yet.
Okay, and then what about the proposal writing? Because you do the report, and if it's for the home sale, people are going to want to know, hey, what's going on? How much does all this cost? Nice report.
Okay. Right now, we don't do anything as far as an estimate with the report. But what some people have done is, like, say, Crown, for existence. They go into their comment assist library, and one of the things that they will add is, like, maybe small crown, medium crown, crown form, crown on a large crown, and they'll put that for their excerpt, but for their description or for the long comment, they might describe how they're building that crown, and then leave either a blank or go ahead and say that a large crown could run $1,100 to $1,700 price range. So you can do things like that, so they have an idea what each individual thing might run, kind of like home inspectors quite often do that on their reports. They have no idea what prices are on chimney stuff, but they put it in there anyway, and then customers get upset with us because, no, I can't do it for that.
Right.
Well, I found you could add like a comment and then leave the crown to remove and replace with the concrete crown with the drip edge would be, and then just leave that blank and the guys can go in and fill that in.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's your own comment that you would add.
That's where
Yes.
you'd put in on the comment at the bottom, or the comment where you click on the clipboard with the check mark?
It would be where you have described that there's a problem with it. You can add your own comment that would give a price for it.
Okay, but the client wouldn't see that
They
price.
could see it.
Yeah,
If you-
that would be in their report. Yes.
If you click that little part of it that allows them to see it, then you could see it.
Okay, but if you write a comment in there on the crown repair, and
Actually, when you push that you want a comment added to it, it automatically shows it on the report unless you unclick it.
okay, so well,
Anytime a comment is generated, it allows you to, it automatically puts it on the report unless you unclick it.
you can't have a hidden comment in there that
Can.
crown needs repair, and then on your other comment, crown repair cost is going to be $1,500, and then this way you've got that on your
You wouldn't
main.
need to. You would need to. If you're saying the crown needs a repair, then you have the option to put what the price is or not, right, Jim?
Yes, and because you can have multiple comments, it's stored in your library, and you can append the comment that you put on their report. You could easily put in anything that you wanted there and have it show up for the customer.
Right. And then if I don't like the guy's price, after I look at it, I can adjust it.
Yeah, if you're in the office and you're looking at that and say, "Are you kidding?" Then
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, what happens if you got a damaged or lost device in the middle of the day? Say you're doing it off of iPads, but you got an iPhone. You just go into the dashboard and switch devices there or something, or
Yeah, if somebody's device craps out in the middle of the day, absolutely, you could um, you could go onto the dashboard down, or you could go to the App Store. Let's say their device fell off the roof. Now, any inspections, as long as the internet was turned on and connected, any of your inspections are going to have gone to the cloud. Now, when you go to the Best Buy and buy yourself a new device, your old inspections are not going to be on that device, but you can download the app and start over. And all you need to do is go to the dashboard and deactivate the device that died on you, and activate the new device. And you're not increasing your subscription; you're just switching devices. I've had a case where I left the house thinking that I had my iPad with me, and it turned out that I didn't. So I deactivated my iPad and activated my iPhone, and I did my inspection with my iPhone. And then the next time I wanted to use my iPad, I just switched back. That way I'm not adding a device. I am just
Switching back and forth.
Yep.
oh, okay. So you can do that anytime without no additional costs, or is that like a prorated for a day or something like that you go back and forth on, or?
As long as let me see if I can, let me bring up my
No, as long as you don't add another whole device, you're fine.
yeah.
Well,
Just replace it.
Well, if you drop it off the roof or something like that, or forget it, and it's a couple of days or something like that it's down, but then you want to go back to an iPad, but you got the emergency cell phone to use.
I tried it a couple of times, switching back and forth, and it hasn't charged me. So that's why I was kind of curious.
That, were you able to hear him, Ed?
No.
Oh, okay. Somebody said that they've done that. They've had to do that before, and no charges showed up.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, okay, you can still see my dashboard here. I'm going to devices. Let's say this is, well, this one's, let's see, try to find one that's not. Yeah, I'll this one. All you have to do is click on the device. I'll go back here to the devices. All you have to do is click on the device from your dashboard that you want to switch out. You see this is active here. Just click here, click reissue activation code, and then just put this activation code in your new device, and then save it, and your new device will be activated.
Yeah, okay. Sounds too easy.
We tried to make it easy. That was the whole point of this thing. Let's make it simple, stupid, because hey, we're just a bunch of dumb chimney sweeps, right?
That's right. Trying to muddle through.
Yep.
Fat fingers. Okay. So now the next step would be to download the and get the devices set up. Then I would be doing that deal if I want to move forward on this. And then I can look at all this intro stuff here, these tutorials, and then we can sit down and go through the tutorials for a couple of meetings and get the handle on these things, right?
Yes, and this video that we have done, I am going to make it available live anytime. And Jerry's going to get a copy of it. He's going to put it on his system, CVC Coaching, and so it will be available on demand a couple of different ways.
So my guys can watch it at any point, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and as a matter of fact, on CVC Coaching and also on the service that I'm going to implement, there'll be
On
a way.
support.
There'll be a way to sign in
Yeah.
to it so that you know that you're there. That way, we can make sure that a person would get their CSIA and
Yeah.
credits, and also any of you that are on the promotion from the show, when you email me, jim@chimspect.com, remind me that you've been on this training so that I can credit you back your first month's service.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, Ed, yes, you definitely want to sign up. You definitely want to try it. You're going to get you're going to send me an email reminding me that you went on this promotion, and yes, you're going to pay, but I'm going to, within a couple of days, I'm just going to credit that back to your credit card, so that basically you get a month's free. You get CSIA credits, NFI credits, and a chance to use my software for free for a month. And you also, we're going to guarantee that your price isn't going to go up for at least the first year. Hopefully, we'll never increase your price.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jim, I
what?
have a question. Your comment assist,
Yes.
you could go to that. If you go to that, and we haven't added our own comments, yours don't show up.
Ours currently don't show up. I've asked my brother
Yeah,
change
that would
that.
be helpful.
And the the partners, there's 3 partners in this, and we haven't made a decision to do that. And then once we do make the decision to do that, which I think we will, it takes a little time to implement, because we want to make sure that we're not crashing tens of thousands of lines of code that we've already written.
Exactly. Is there any way to amend your comments that are
Once-
on the devices, or
once
do
it's
we
on the
need to
once you've brought it up, you've chosen it on your device, you can change the wording of my comment on the fly.
but we can't amend it so that it's automatic without just adding our own, like, in other words, if the there's a tree hanging over the chimney.
Mhm.
Your comment doesn't say, please have tree company come and cut the tree back to 10 feet from the chimney.
Right.
To do that, we would add our own comment that the guys could then add to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Or amend it or change it in any way that they want, because none of these things are in stone. It's just your dashboard gives them the starting place for building their comment.
But there's
Because,
no way to amend the comments that you have on the device at this point.
well, you can do it once you if you select it on the device,
Yeah.
The guys in the field can edit it.
They can add their own. Yeah, but it's not
Well,
automatic.
they can change what it says for that particular instance, but
Exactly.
it's not gonna save it forever like that.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Hoping to change that soon. But we are in the process of adding some more information, uh, better ways to inspect specifically prefab chimneys. We're going to make that a stronger section in our software. We recently just completed the fire certification course. Both me and my brother both completed fire, and we got some very good ideas on how to improve that. So those things are going to be more important than, yeah, that's going to be a little higher on the priority than like adding Google Calendar or something like that.
Okay. Great.
Okay, and then I guess one more thing. You don't actually have to have it on this on your office computer, maybe on a laptop that, say, me personally for using, and we got 4 devices in the field, and then 1 device in the office, and that's where everything is stored at. Is that
Okay, this is not a piece of software that is installed any place. It's cloud based. So
gotcha?
anything that you access that from, um, any device, any laptop, your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, you can access that information.
With your password on the dashboard.
Exactly. You know, if you're in an area that you frequently go in and out of of that you're like, if you're at a house that has a very weak internet signal, all of a sudden you go into the basement and you're working on your report, and your device may ask you to install an activation code. That's not a glitch in the software. It's just that your device can't contact our server anymore, so it thinks that it needs to be activated. So from your device, you go back upstairs. Now you've got an internet connection. Go onto your dashboard, and right from your device, reactivate your device.
What if you have no internet connection? Can you still do the inspection?
Absolutely. And if you're going into an area where you know that you have terrible internet connection, to avoid that problem from happening, what you might just do is turn off the put it in airplane mode, and now you can do all of your inspection. It's not going to it's going to save everything, and that you don't have to worry about that you did or didn't have an internet connection. Next time you get back into where you have a real strong internet connection, um, turn on your take it out of the airplane mode, and uh, your anything that's in your app should save up to the cloud without any interruptions.
Okay, pictures and everything you can take while you're in airplane mode and all that. Right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good on my end.
Okay.
Am I the only one here?
No, there's still several people left. I've muted Barb for a while because she was moving around and and making a lot. It was all coming across that, so I muted Barb. But
Well, gotta cook dinner, I guess.
yeah, so I'm
So
gonna
Jim,
unmute everybody, and
Sorry, guys. I was taking bread out of the oven.
no problem,
So,
Barb.
okay.
Any other
I'm good.
questions?
yeah, Jim, the last question I have was, am I causing faults by putting too many pictures on one bar? And if I put too many comments on the comment assist, will it cause it to mess up as it uploads to the cloud?
The only time I've ever had one that was
Hey,
that
Jim, I
was
couldn't hear his question.
Oh, okay. Robert's question was, what happens is can you put too many pictures or too many comments in one section? And the answer to that is I have not found that to be a problem. I've done reports that had 40, 50 pictures in them, and one section might have had 15 or 20 pictures. Like, say, if I was taking pictures of the flue tile, and I put a whole bunch of pictures of flue tile in, I've never had it not upload properly as long as I had a strong internet connection. The only time I ever had a problem with that is somehow a picture file had corrupt information in it, and then it made the report just go sideways. But my brother has always been able to go go, let's say the wizard goes behind the curtain, and he figures out which picture it was that was creating that issue, and then he can delete that one picture, and then everything turns back the way it's supposed to.
And you can upload video also, right?
No,
No?
currently we don't have any support for video.
Ooh, so if we do a chimscape video, you can't upload it to the report.
No.
So
Would you-
I've always put I can send you a video upload with, Google Docs.
Well, yeah, you can still do that, but
Yeah.
you're just going to, and how the easiest way I put pictures of from the ChimScan on my into my report is I just take my device and take a picture of the screen,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it comes out nice enough.
Okay, Jim, would you repeat what the cost of this is, please?
The dashboard in one device is $70 per month. Each additional device is $30 per month.
Okay.
Tablets that I'm using right now, Jim, I got like a Galaxy Tab 10 with the case, screen protector, the Costco thing. I just got another one today. My nephew's going to do his first report today. He's going to be helping me out today, but it came out to about $300 for all the tab stuff. And then, your inspection stuff is awesome. It's working out pretty good for me right now. So.
Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. So I think what he was trying to let people know is that the Apple devices are a bit more expensive than the Android devices. He got a 10-inch tab or tab 10. I forget how you said that, and a keyboard with a protective case and everything. Picked that up for about $300, so it's well protected. So his nephew can practically drop it off the roof, and he only spent about $300 for that. And they're looking forward to using our system on yet another device.
Well,
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm good.
All right. Again, I'm going to try to get this video in the hands of Jerry and also on my own system, and hopefully it'll be available very soon for review. And it'll be nice that you can, at least on my system, I believe you're going to be able to scroll through it. So maybe you don't want to hear that first part again, or maybe you do want to look at some of that insurance code stuff and things like that. So it'll all be available for you soon.
So right now there's no tutorials available.
I hope to change that as early as tomorrow.
Oh, okay. And that'll be what we just saw.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'll
Okay.
take my guys through it. Thanks, Jim.
All right. Thank you. Don't forget to email me.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice one. Thanks.
All right.